So how much money can you put into Robinhood, And how much money can you make off of Robinhood? And what are the 1,000 products and brands and services and companies and startups and service providers and banks and brokerage firms and financial services firms and investment banking and investment management firms and hedge funds above and below Robinhood, and even the ones used by Robinhood? And I wonder, well, why aren't they using the better brand? And will they switch to that brand if they make enough money? If it's because they can't afford it, So let's try to study Robinhood and other service providers and other financial services firms a little bit, because ideally it would be great to start off to say, well, let's study finance and Robinhood and other apps, wealth management apps and other wealth management firms and services and financial services and investment banking topics for 10,000 hours. But what ends up happening is we end up covering the details that we cover for only a fraction of that time. So basically, what's going to happen is it's going to occupy my time and my mind, that I already am wondering, what is Robinhood? My best guess is what ends up happening is, the people who put in a little or a lot of money at the beginning or at whatever point in time, most people that end up getting something from the service, unless it is, unproportional, then we do kind of look to figure out, well, who did make money? Like Warren Buffett made money. Why was he the only person who made money using whatever strategy or technique he used? He might have been the only person to have found out how to win the lottery. So why is there, how many people did end up winning the lottery, and how did they learn, and how did they keep going? Warren Buffett has been investing for 75 years. Well, how do you end up investing for 75 years if you lost all your money the first time you invested? So there's a technique for figuring that out, and I'm gonna try figuring it out. But first, you know, I might look to discontinue what I was just talking about, and try to make it two separate topics that I cover through my personal website. And that might confuse me more than it confuses other people. It just goes to show you that without money, I can't hire you, and maybe you're not even looking to work for me. And we wonder how you end up doing such a great job working for yourself. Well, it is that you are Warren Buffett and I'm somebody else, who questions too, much like you. Well, what is the point of having $1 billion or over $1 billion, like I covered earlier in another video? And where does this sort of questioning bring you? Well, it's sort of a bad thing, and is the government capable of fixing that somehow? And were we in the middle of fixing the economy and the college systems and the career thing? And is there even a point of working at all? Or is universal basic income sort of the end-all be-all solution to that end of the spectrum? And of course, are people going to work and go to school when we do start to give out stimulus checks for universal basic income? And what was it that turned on the government in Congress to finally start UBI? Uh, well, that's my sort of like thing, is to wonder about that. But I don't think I'd be the best for to occupy that position or that title or that job for very long. So a lot of people don't think there's a point in even going to work at all, like I said. But like me, they still want to go to work if they do get to fill that position someday or at all. But if you're like me, you might not go to work if you don't you might not want to go to work if you don't get to fill that position, or if you can't spend your money however you want to. So, there's just so many things wrong with the economy and with politics and with the government. And, people understand that, and that's good. And, a lot of things are like that, like a Ponzi scheme. And are we going to fix that? Because people are suffering and probably dying.